Your Tesla delivery is a very exciting yet nerve-wracking day. Exciting because, well, you're getting a Tesla. But nerve-wracking because, well, you've heard the horror stories. People showing up to the delivery center and their car being an absolute mess. Scratches, dents, paint problems, top glass not secured, 10 feet wide panel gaps, the list just goes on. So now you're scrambling, trying to find a delivery day checklist because you have no idea what to even look for. And well, you've come to the right place. Also, I will have linked below everything we'll be going over in this video, but in text format that you can pull out on delivery day to check off as you go. Step 0. And I'm calling it that because it's things to bring with you, so not really delivery inspection, but it's related. And while some people may just bring themselves and their phone, this is everything that you may need. If your Tesla is going to be registered to more than just you, bring that other person as they need to be at delivery to sign the final documents. Driver's license, not because they asked for it, but because you need it for driving. But seriously, they've never asked me for mine, but better safe than sorry. Your smartphone with the Tesla app installed and signed in. You probably already have the app and you're probably already signed in because you've more than likely been checking daily for any updates whatsoever. Now, when it comes to payment, it entirely depends on what you did. If you did everything through Tesla and their partners, you literally don't need to bring anything. However, if you're paying cash, while they tell you to pay before you show up, you have the right to not pay until you see the car, so don't forget to bring the money. And if you're doing third-party financing, well, same thing applies. Like, they try to get you to submit everything and write the checks before you get the car, but you're more than entitled to not do that until you see the car. So don't forget that money. Proof of insurance. You should have already uploaded this to Tesla, but same reasoning as driver's license. You need it to drive. If you're trading in a car to Tesla, don't forget it. Bring a USB-A if it's an older Tesla, so like pre-2021, or USB-C if it's a newer Tesla to check the ports. And finally, a flashlight. I promise it will come in handy when you're inspecting the car, either in the like darker like floorboard areas, trunk areas, or if you're just in like an enclosed space and it's dark like a parking garage or something. I know they have some delivery centers in those type of spots. And I would recommend something a little brighter than your phone. Okay, so on to the actual start of the delivery inspection. Step 1. Verify your pre-delivery records, so make sure the car you ordered is what you're getting. Grab the paperwork that should be located in the car and confirm the following. Your full name and address are correct. The VIN matches that on the windshield and in the car's about screen. While you're on the about screen, make sure the car is correct. So, for example, if you bought a Performance, there should be a dual motor logo with a red line under it. Now verify the Monroney, and if you don't know what a Monroney is, it's just the sticker sheet. And make sure everything on that matches your configuration. If the wheels you're getting have caps, so the 18s on the Model 3 or 19s on the Model Y, make sure they are fully attached. So just go around the car, pushing them in, make sure there's no play or any movement with them. And lastly, verify that the vehicle is correct. You would have probably noticed this immediately upon walking up to the car, but just make sure it's the correct color, interior, wheels, the tires all match, and make sure it's what you ordered. The one instance that comes to mind is a Model Y buyer that purchased one with black interior and had the car for a few weeks and realized that he had the white dash when he should have had wood dash. So yeah, just double check. Now, step 1, part 2, and this is the only one with a part 2, accessories. Teslas come very bare bones, as you probably know because you just ordered one and there were a total of 5 options to choose from. Get yourself some accessories that will make your ownership and driving experience even better. I'll have all of my day 1 must-haves linked below, but my top 3 are as follows. A screen protector, as well, the screen in these cars have all the information that you need, so you don't want them getting messed up. Center console inserts. Teslas used to come with these, but then they stopped including them. And all-weather floor mats. Some Teslas don't even come with floor mats, and the ones that do are really cheap, flimsy cloth ones that get destroyed in like 2 or 3 drives. So yeah, I would recommend bringing all-weather floor mats with you to delivery day and just swapping them out. Step 2, exterior inspection. Let's go ahead and check for what everyone always brings up anytime that Teslas are mentioned: panel gaps. Go ahead and do a lap of the car. Check for any obvious body panel misalignment or large gaps. Key areas being front of the frunk properly aligns with where it meets the bumper, trunk arms properly aligned with where they meet the left and right quarter panels, headlights and rear lights are flush with the body, Charging port is flush with the body as well. A lot of people don't actually know how to look for panel gaps, like they don't actually know what classifies as a panel gap. So if that's you, well, then just do this. Just compare whatever you're looking at to the other side. If it's significantly different from the other side, then it's a problem. You don't really need to bring a ruler and like start measuring, though you could if you'd like. I believe anything over 5 millimeters and under 3 millimeters is considered a problem that should be documented by most automotive inspectors. However, I double check and do your own research if you're actually gonna be that thorough with your inspection. Next is inspecting the paint, and you're going to be looking for scrapes, damage, overspray, underspray, dents, and dings. Also, look at the trim and door handles as part of your walk around as well. If you've been watching the channel for a while, then you know that my first Model 3 had paint chips on the vehicle at delivery day that I just didn't catch, and I had to pull teeth to get Tesla to agree to fix it. Once you're done doing a quick general inspection for any major issues of the paint, close all the doors and do a once over again, looking for anything that doesn't look right, going in this order. Underside plastic trim, front and rear, for signs of scraping or damage. Front bumper, right front quarter panel, right front wheel, right passenger door, right rear door, right rear wheel, right rear quarter panel, trunk, rear bumper, left rear quarter panel, left rear wheel, left rear door, driver's door, left front wheel, left front quarter panel, and finally the front. Once you've confirmed everything looks okay, open all the doors including the front and trunk and test the following. Test the power liftgate operation on the trunk, assuming that your trunk is automatic. Test all doors including front and trunk to ensure they open and close without unreasonable effort or sound. Ensure door windows auto-close completely when doors are closed. Check the front/trunk lighting. And lastly, while you're opening the doors, check the paint in areas such as door hinges, the bottom of the front/trunk, etc. that are not visible when doors are closed. Just a heads up, you're probably going to see some spotchy paintwork in these areas. However, as long as it's not too bad, then you're fine. And lastly, inspection of glass and seal condition. Inspect all glass, including side mirrors, for signs of distortion, scratches, or cracks. There's a lot of glass, so this will take you a few minutes. Inspect the weather seals around the door gaps and windows. Yes, they are supposed to look like they've been installed by a 6-year-old, as long as they're not popping out or catching on the door/window, then they're fine. Verify that the water guards that line the trunk below the rear windshield are free and clear. If it's raining, then you can check if they're working properly right then and there. Check windshield and windshield trim for proper installation, and inspect all edges of the roof glass. Yes, there will be some gap, but just make sure it's actually attached. Step number 3, interior inspection. First things first, inspect interior seat upholstery, door surfaces, dash, headliner, and carpets, including passenger compartment, front, and trunk. You're just looking for anything that is obviously wrong or messed up. Also want to point out to check the door panels for any looseness. I had a major rattle that took ages for me to find out where it was coming from. Turns out my driver's door panel wasn't fully seated. You'll be able to tell if there's a lot of give to it. Now go ahead, sit in the driver's seat and perform the following. Check for any error messages on the display screen, along with checking the history via the notification icon. Check all 4 windows to ensure they roll up and down properly. Test the windshield wipers. Test the rear view and side cameras. Check side mirrors for proper operation of folding and position adjustment. Test the steering wheel position controls to ensure proper operation. Press the center of the steering wheel or button if you have a refresh to make sure the horn works. Check the rear view mirror for any warping or distortion. Check sun visor operation, mirror condition, and the lighting operation. Front overhead driver and passenger lights, otherwise known as the dome lights. Check center console cover slide operation and middle/rear compartment lights. Check glove box opening and closing functions and lighting. Check seat all position controls. Check driver and passenger footwell lighting. Also, you should know that the base Model 3 does not have footwell lighting. Check steering wheel control lights. They may need to be enabled in the driver's settings. Test the wireless phone chargers. Check heating functions such as the steering wheel and seats, along with cooled if you're in a refresh. Test the HVAC and listen for strange noises on both hot and cold settings at full power. Test park assist sensor by pressing the brake, put the car in drive or reverse, and have someone walk in front of the car, or if you're in a very busy lot, they should just start beeping immediately. And finally, test the blind spot camera by turning on the automatic blind spot setting, then turn your right/left lane changing signal to see the image from the camera. Now let's verify your infotainment screen. Go ahead and throw on some music to make sure the speakers are good. Pull pull up the balance and move it around to confirm all speakers are operating. Then head into your toy box and open up the sketchpad. Let it sit for a minute or two to verify no phantom touches or dead pixels. You should also switch back and forth from dark to light mode to re-verify for dead pixels. Now hop on out of the driver's seat and perform the following. Check both driver and passenger door emergency releases. Check both driver and passenger door puddle lights. You'll probably have to look up under the door if it's really bright outside. Check all door latch and window button lights. Just cup your hand over them and you should be able to see them if it's too bright out. Now check the front, rear, and middle seat belts to confirm proper operation. Head to the rear seats and check both clothing hooks. Fold the rear seats down to confirm proper operation. Model Ys need to also confirm quick release from the rear along with reclining seats. Try to lift the bottom of the back seats up to ensure they are securely attached to their base. Check both rear dome lights. And finally, make sure you have that USB cord I mentioned earlier to go ahead and check all your ports. Step 4, lighting inspection, and this one is short but very vital. Front headlights, low and high beam operation. Also ensure there is no condensation inside the lights housing. Parking lights and fog lights if your car has them. You can access all of these options via the settings under lights. Now turn on your hazards and check the following. Front turn signal lights. Left and right turn signal lights on side cameras. Rear turn signal lights. Rear running lights. And brake lights, ensuring, once again, no condensation inside light housing. Last thing, if you're in a refresh, check interior ambient lighting via the color wheel to make sure it's working properly. And if you're in a busy lot, you may be able to check the blind spot little light indicators as well if you're also in a refresh. Step 5, charging. First, check the charge port door to make sure it's working and is aligned. Open and close via manually touching it, the screen/app, and button on a charger if one is near. Make sure the charge port light is working. If you're at a delivery center that has superchargers or chargers in general and you're able to, plug in to make sure you're accepting a charge. And finally, make sure you have your J1772 adapter, which still comes free with every Tesla as of November 2023. If you happen to find a mobile connector in your Tesla that you did not order, I would suggest not saying anything and just rolling with it. Step 6, pairing connectivity. Test both key cards to ensure they work with your Tesla and then pair your phone to have access to your phone key. Then test the phone key, walk-away lock, and auto unlock. While you're doing this, go ahead and make sure everything in the app is working. There have been some horror stories of cars not being properly marked as delivered on Tesla's side, the app not working, and people not realizing it till they're home and they check the app, because a lot of people aren't checking the app when they're looking at the car taking delivery. Step number 7, extras. While this should have been verified when you were checking to make sure the car you ordered is what you got, gonna re-mention it here. If you got scammed into buying FSD or enhanced autopilot, verify you have it under the car's about settings. If applicable in your state, double check for your front license plate, though I would definitely get a less ugly aftermarket one. Check your frunk for your towing eye. If you're in Maryland, I believe you should get an inflation kit, so make sure you have that. Also, Model Y owners, make sure you have your towing stuff if you ordered that. And finally, if you ordered anything except the rear-wheel drive version, make sure they include your floor mats. However, like I mentioned earlier, they're cheap, flimsy, and crappy, and I would just recommend getting all-weather floor mats. But you paid for them, so make sure you get them. Now, what do you do if there is anything wrong? Well, first things first, don't report them one by one. Just wait till the end of your inspection and then report everything at once if you end up having problems and or multiple problems. If it is a big enough problem or problems, you do have the right to refuse delivery right then and there. Though Tesla does try to get you to accept delivery in your app to be able to unlock your car, which I have heard isn't actually you accepting delivery because you haven't signed the physical papers yet that are in the car. But if you do just want to make sure, then you are by all means within your rights to request that they manually unlock the car for you to actually look at it first before you accept delivery within your app. But yeah, you have full right to refuse delivery. However, most things will be fixed right then and there on the spot, as most delivery centers are also service centers. However, if it's something that can't be fixed on the spot, then make sure a ticket is created for what needs to be fixed in the future before you leave. As far as I'm aware, Tesla allows you up to 24 hours or 100 miles, whichever comes first, to report pretty much anything and everything via the app. So if you get home and then notice something, make sure you report it immediately. Last thing I want to say is that Tesla's quality has gotten a lot better compared to even just a few years ago and continues to improve every single day. It is normal for you to go through this entire checklist and not find anything wrong with your car. And we're at a tipping point now where finding something wrong with your car is actually abnormal. But yeah, just when I throw that out there, I'd say there's a 98% chance that your vehicle's gonna be flawless. Most people that have flawless deliveries don't bother mentioning it or saying anything online. So the things that you're reading on the internet are just all the bad experiences. No one ever reports their good experience. And trust me, the good experiences far outweigh the bad experiences. Like I said, I'll have all those day one accessories that I recommend along with this entire checklist in text format linked right below that like button. If you're new to the channel and want to see more Tesla related stuff, then feel free to subscribe. I'd appreciate it. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace.